Should we trust her? Wesley is injured. We'll never escape the Darkspawn.
If
Wesley.
you need to, leave me behind.
No. I said I would drag you out if I had to, and I meant it. Roast a few more, Darkspawn? I'll do anything you want.
Sadly, my charity is at an end. There is a clan of Dalish elves near the city of Kirkwall. Deliver this amulet to their keeper, Marathari. Do as she asks with it, and any debt between us is paid in full.
Okay.
Before I take you anywhere, however, there is another matter.
Do you know how to remove a wart?
No, leave him alone.
What has been done to your man is within his blood already.
You lie!
She's right, Aveline. I can feel the corruption inside me.
The cholesterol.
What are you talking about?
From the Darkspawn. All that blood. I knew when it happened.
And how much time before you?
Not long now, if I am any judge.
This corruption is the permanent sort, I take it.
The only cure I know of is to become a Grey Warden.
And they all died at Ostagar.
Not all, but the last are now beyond your reach.
Aveline, listen to me.
You can't ask me this. I won't.
Please. The corruption is a slow death.
There is another Skywalker.
He's your husband, Aveline. I can't decide his fate.
Toss him in the water.
Be strong, my love.
Those cataracts, man. Oh, okay, this is actually a genuinely touching moment. See, this is what I don't like. I don't like when... Ooh, harsh. I don't like when people seem to think that Dragon Age 2, in general, is terrible. That's the sentiment I seem to get from people. There are certain aspects about it that are underwhelming, but when you really look at scenes like this, you know, you can't say this game is without merit. You have to give some people
Without
a bit
an
more,
end, there can be no
benefit of the
peace.
doubt. You just gotta understand that Bioware isn't
It
perfect.
gets no easier. Your struggles have only just begun.
Flemeth,
I thought that might interest you.
you expect
your
me
shirt.
to believe a myth swooped out of the wild to save the champion?
Oh, come now, Seeker. Do I need to recite the tale of the Warden as well?
Get in
No.
my belly.
Perhaps I shouldn't be surprised to hear of her involvement.
I liked my version better, too.
What else aren't you telling me then? Did she send someone with the champion?
In a manner of speaking.
So it's true.
There is such a thing as being too
Continue.
much of a smart aleck,
If
you
you
know?
tell me they all flew to Kirkwall on a dragon.
Nothing so fanciful, I assure you.
Do 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 do.
The witch kept her word and got them to
Never-ending
Guam, where they took ship.
story.
They sailed north across the waking sea, lashed by terrible storms. 2 weeks they spent in that dark hold, packed in with the fearful and the desperate. And then they
Do
saw
do
it.
do 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 do.
Kirkwall,
do, 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 do.
the city of chains. Long ago it was part of the Imperium, slaves coming from far and wide to work the quarries.
Where there's a whip,
Now,
there's a
it's
way.
a free city, but I use the word loosely. Sail through those black cliffs and you'll see what the slaves of old saw. The gallows, welcoming you.
Execution ain't so bad.
That's where their ship landed. with all the rest.
Coffee time. I'm on a boat. Oh, is this, the emo city? Look at those depressed doll sims. Us crows don't get a break. Everyone sees us as bad. Who decided, you know, doves were so good? Racism, I tell ya. Lego City.
They're not letting anyone into the city.
What? That can't be.
It's true. Look at them all.
They're Fereldans, just like us. Fleeing for their lives.
And they would throw us all back to the wolves. Unbelievable.
People still do that all the time, man. It's an atrocity.
I'm only surprised they let us dock.
We need to find Gamlen. Our family has always been highly regarded in Kirkwall. He can do something, I'm sure of it. Let's hope he received your letter.
The guards seem to be reporting to that man. Perhaps we should speak to him.
I think a lot of the reasons people seem to think these games are... certain games are terrible, not just flawed, is because I think people have let their standards get a little too high. Back with a lot of older games, you would often find that individual entries had some pretty glaring flaws. Like, I could look at the entire Final Fantasy series and say, oh, 5, it has a terrible story, but hey, at least the combat feature was rich and had a lot to it. But because nowadays, people are expecting so much more from every new entry because budgets are so high, they never look at a flawed entry and say, hey, you know what, maybe the next one will do this better, or maybe the next one will do that better, like people used to think. I don't know, it just seems like everything has to be blow the previous out of the water, otherwise it's terrible, and that's a mindset that I just don't agree with. Hey, you?
Get back to the crowd, you lot. Trying to bully your way through won't get you into Kirkwall any faster.
Do you know who I
But you
am?
do intend to let us in.
We have enough poor of our own in the free marches. We don't need you refugees piling up here
If
like
they're
a
free,
midden
let
sheep.
us in. We don't have to pay anything.
I heard someone call this fortress the Gallows. Is it a prison?
Used to be. Back in the Imperial days. They kept slaves here until the rebellion. Now the Templars run it, and use it to lock up their mages. Guess not much has changed.
Are mages imprisoned here?
Well, no more than anywhere else.
They're trying to
It's a
harness their
circle of
fire
magi
magic
now.
to make their toast.
Magic is to serve man, not rule him. And mages are better locked up where they don't hurt anyone.
Oh no, yeah, that's perfect. That's perfect reasoning. We should ban all violent video games because some sociopaths play them and do terrible things. Just in case.
Why aren't we being allowed into the city?
If it were up to me, I'd bar the gates and let you find somewhere else to beg.
Did you say bacon?
But it's not. Some of you lot might have legitimate business in the city. So Knight Commander Meredith wants us to sort
Meredith
you all
Vieira?
out. Most of you are getting right back on your ships, though.
That's a Templar title. Why would a city guardsman answer to the Templars?
We don't answer to her, but she's the power in Kirkwall. Don't know what would happen if the Viscount went against something she wanted, but he's sure never taken that chance.
There must be someone in charge I can speak with.
Yes, always the same story. You want in, talk to Captain Ewald. I'm just here
Ewald?
to keep you refuse from climbing the walls.
I'm calling him Ewald. That sounds funnier. Yeah, so I've gotten in, mainly because I had a big axe. Nobody denies. A lady with a big axe. Hello, stormtrooper. Hello, beggar holding out his hand despite no one being around to give him. Just out. Yeah, that's kind of weird. Like, can you imagine that? Like, in a city, the place is completely deserted, yet there's a beggar holding out his hand in the air? Like, wait till someone comes.
We'll starve!
I don't know, you seem pretty muscular.
Was Wesley based out of the Lothering Chantry?
What do these guys remind me of? These cartoon drawings.
Served elsewhere. He was
They
going
look
to
like
find
mole
them
people
across
or
the dark.
aliens or something.
Were you familiar with every Templar in Lothering?
How else was I supposed to know when to run and hide?
Kirkwall has been sealed. You cannot enter.
Oh, so you mean, you shall not pass? Ah. Yeah.
How can they turn us all away?
I blame the cat people. I don't know if there's cat people in Dragon Age, but I'm blaming them anyways.
What are we going to do?
I don't know. What are you going to do? Hey, little Captain Ewald.
Let us through, you flaming blighter. We're not staying in this pit.
Then get back on your ship and leave. Kirkwall has no more room for refugees.
The ship's already gone. We've paid good coin
What's with
to
your
get
veins?
here.
You and half of Ferelden. There's nothing I can do. The city is full.
One of the guards said you were letting in people who have business in the city.
That's right. We've seen you let lots of people through.
Citizens and merchants that make it worth our while. I'll assume that you don't have any more coin than these gentlemen. We've been letting you Fereldans in for months. You're too late. There's no more room.
No
But we
room
have
at the inn,
family
Virgin
here.
Mary.
Doesn't that mean anything?
I've heard claims like that 1,000 times already. Trust me. We'll find some ships to take you all back.
What's
to
Iron
Ferelden
Man doing over there?
eventually. Until then,
Look at these
stay
guys.
here.
They're like Iron Man.
If you find our uncle, Gamlen Amel, you might just have a few less